Hi. Today I wanted to talk about, is your business protected? And what I mean by that are there are a few things that we have to have in place to actually have a business and to do our business legally. The first one I'd like you to look at is, are you legally licensed? Have you paid your fees? Do you have your document or license on your wall? Have you taken the required CEUs? I don't know if you know, but in 47 states that have licensing boards, the biggest licensing deficit is the fact that therapists don't have enough CEUs. And it's not that we're not trying or we're not taking classes, because obviously we are. We're either, one, not keeping our documents and making sure that we've signed in and having the documents in place, or we think that we've taken enough CEUs, and when we've been asked to produce the documents, we don't have the number that we said that we had. And so that's the biggest complaint right now with licensing boards, is not having enough CEUs. So make sure you're practicing legally. You don't want to put yourself at risk. The second thing that I wanted to make sure that you had is, do you have insurance? The question is simple, I realize, but do you have general liability insurance, sometimes called slip and fall? Do you have malpractice insurance? There's two different types of insurance. When I started out years ago, I didn't know I needed general liability. I thought I just needed renter's insurance because I was renting a building. So I got commercial renter's insurance. And then my insurance agents finally said to me, hey, you really need general liability if someone fell and hurt themselves. So the first year I didn't have it. And I didn't know I didn't have it because I was trusting my insurance agent to sell me what I needed to have. So now we have a big umbrella policy that covers all of that, but we have to make sure that your malpractice is in order. And how I do that and how I keep track of it for myself and my therapist is I have a spreadsheet, and then automatically it notifies them or myself 60 days ahead of time to make sure that we're taking care of business. Because you got to make sure that you have the right insurance at the right time, because if you don't, it really could be a problem if someone fell in your office or if one of your clients decided to sue you. The average settlement claim is about $20,000. I know I don't have an extra $20,000 hanging around, and I'm sure you don't either. So make sure that you have the right insurance. When you have malpractice, make sure that it's also listed for your company, so that you are not just, it's not just your personal malpractice, it's the company's malpractice as well. And malpractice is good for excessive concerns with clients. And according to Legal Match, the most common concerns that clients will sue therapists is making inappropriate or excessive self-disclosure, using techniques without proper training, deliberately misdiagnosing clients or deliberately misdiagnosing clients for payment too, sexual relationships, failure to take adequate notes, failure to take a proper history, and failure to consult with peers. Now, most of us are going to be doing all of those things, so we're not going to be on that list. But sometimes when we're in private practice, we get so self-motivated and so focused, sometimes some things fall by the wayside. So let's make sure that we're doing therapy and we're doing excellent therapy. The fourth thing on my list is make sure you have your documentation. I know most therapists hate notes. I know it's terrible. But we got to get them in. We got to get them in within 24 hours, 48 hours at the most. If you missed a note, just say, late note, the reason why the late note was there, missed note. Because if you don't have some sort of notes, it's going to put you in legal hot water if your notes are ever being subpoenaed, if they're ever being used for a case for your client. Make sure that your notes are adequate. Let's turn to your computer now. Do you have a HIPAA compliant email? In our business, we have an email provider that all of our clinicians use, and we have a business associate agreement, a BAA, in place so that we know the company that has our email is doing their business with HIPAA compliance in mind. And we are using HIPAA compliance and when we talk to our clients. We have two ways of talking to our clients through a HIPAA compliance system. We use Google Suites for individual email, and then we go through our EMR that has, it's also HIPAA compliant email, and the clients can go directly into that system and respond back and forth to us. And that's how we exchange clinical data. The next thing is, do you have a virus program on your system? You need one to be scanning what's coming in and how things are going out. That could really mess up. It could shut down your computer, it could shut down your whole system if you're not scanning those files. And then lastly, are you changing your passwords occasionally? And are you making them long enough so that there's a safety compliance in there? This is especially important when you're logging into EMRs, that your password is secure and it's long enough to be hard to break into. And so it has to be at least 8 characters for most EMRs. And then you have to also have a number and a letter and a uppercase and a special character. Those will all help in keeping your computer safe. But you need to also keep your system safe. If you write notes on your system to send to your clients or to follow up on, you may have those information on your hard drive. You don't want to keep that information on your hard drive, especially if your hard drive is not password protected. So make sure that your passwords are up to date and that your computer is password protected. All right, go out there and do your work.